All right, good morning, everybody. We are back again with the NIO trade. Gotta love when you can trade the NIO. We'll do a quick recap. It was a kind of a one and done. I did have a hotkey error right here today. Unfortunately, I was trying to get prepared and find some levels, and my finger hit the button. I don't even know why it was on the button. It's just one of those, I don't know, maybe like an instinct. I put in my stop loss. Double clicked just to kind of start setting levels, and for whatever reason my natural instinct was just slam the button. I immediately covered myself out, but unfortunately got a pretty poor fill and didn't realize it for like, I don't know, about 10 or 15 seconds while I was kind of getting everything set up. So unfortunately we took a little bit of a loss there, like 20 bucks, not too bad. We then came up, let me zoom in a little bit closer so we can see what we're looking at here. So NIO did, it was a slight gap up today, not a lot. The cam points were slightly offset above, but they were more narrow than yesterday's range. So basically that meant we could really go anywhere. I did not have any bias coming into this stock. However, with our 2-minute rate pre-market, you can see we sold off hard. Look at that. That's a big bar for NIO. So that kind of started me off in the mood of we might be a little bit weak, and then we'll switch over to 1 minute so we can kind of see our time frame. Kind of up and down in the beginning. We did end up setting a higher body here, but again, this is kind of an indecision for me. Not too much to take away from this candle. Another big sell-off. We came back. This is where I had that hotkey error. I was trying to figure out my levels. That was unfortunate. And then we came up, tested the 9, tested the daily open price, sold off hard. I jumped in. I did like this descending volume that we had on our pullback. That was something we talked about yesterday. We want to make sure we see that. But once we kind of set our indecision here, we sold off heavy with a little bit of increased volume. You can see it here on the 2-minute. I actually didn't wait for this. I probably should have waited and entered here, but I was raring to go. We came up. I almost added right here. That would have been on the 2-minute candle. Once we set, I almost added a 50%. But after what happened yesterday, I just decided, let's just roll with it. Then we had our sell-off, took our first partial, second, took our third at R3. I ended up covering a little bit here because, as you can tell, this time frame, we did set VPOC here. I'll back it up to what we were looking at live. You can see it wasn't quite VPOC when I covered, but we were adding a lot of shares in this little zone right here. A lot of shares. So I went ahead and covered. We then pulled back. This would have been a nice place to add, actually. And then I just kind of covered on the way down. Now, I did get my final cover. I'll talk about that right here. Look at this volume. That's 1 million volume. At this point, our average right now is 310. At this point, before we printed this 1 million volume candle, our average volume was around 250. So this was a 4x volume, which typically indicates some stopping power. People are either grabbing shares for the pull up. Most likely that's what's happening. We're kind of setting a floor right now, so I'm sure we'll just be trading in a zone. So I just went ahead and covered the last of my shares. Unfortunately, it was only about 10% of my position. That was a little bit of a disappointment. I covered way too heavy, way too early. Right, this was just too much covering, primarily right here. You know, when you're taking off half of your position inside of 2R, it's a little disappointing. But we did end up getting 2.7R out of this trade, which is, I'm more than happy with that. But there's no reason we couldn't have, you know, taken our first partial here, which we like to do for more of a psych thing, take our second partial here, third partial was there, fourth there, and we could have actually kept a little bit in case we end up losing this. This purple line is our S5. So, you know, that would have been a really nice partialing process. That's next level. Hopefully we get there. It's a work in progress. You live and you learn. Like I said, after yesterday, I felt like I just really needed to get a win under my belt. And so all in all today, I'm up 2R after my little hiccup right here with the hotkey error. That was kind of a bummer. Beautiful trade after. That's NIO. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Stay green.